For centuries, anglers have gazed at the moon seeking guidance for their next fishing trip. Many believe that the lunar cycle holds a mysterious power over fish behavior. This belief has been passed down through generations, whispered around campfires, and woven into fishing folklore. Some swear by the full moon, claiming it brings a bounty of catches. Others avoid it like a bad tide, believing it makes fish skittish and scarce. These beliefs are deeply ingrained in fishing culture, often presented as gospel truth. But as someone who has spent a lifetime chasing aquatic enigmas, I've learned to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. While the moon undoubtedly influences our planet's tides, its impact on freshwater fishing is far less pronounced. To truly understand the relationship between the moon and fishing, we need to delve into the science behind these age-old beliefs. Only then can we separate fact from fiction and become more successful anglers. One of the most persistent myths is that a full moon creates stronger tides, leading to increased fish activity. The logic follows that larger tides stir up more food, making fish more likely to feed. While it's true that the moon's gravitational pull causes tides, the relationship between lunar phases and fish behavior is not so straightforward. Tides are influenced by a complex interplay of factors, including the sun's gravity, the Earth's rotation, and the shape of coastlines. While a full moon does correspond with higher tides, known as spring tides, these occur twice a month, not just during the full moon. The other spring tide occurs during the new moon, a time often overlooked in fishing folklore. Furthermore, the belief that more bait movement automatically translates to better fishing is an oversimplification. Fish behavior is influenced by a multitude of factors, including water temperature, oxygen levels, and breeding cycles. To attribute increased feeding solely to tidal movements is to ignore the complex web of life beneath the surface. In freshwater environments, the moon's influence is even less pronounced. Unlike the vastness of the ocean, lakes and rivers are relatively self-contained ecosystems. Tides are virtually non-existent, and fish behavior is primarily dictated by factors like water temperature, barometric pressure, and food availability. While some anglers claim that a full moon makes freshwater fish more active, there is little scientific evidence to support this. Fish in these environments have evolved to respond to a different set of cues, relying more on their senses of sight, smell, and vibration to locate prey. That's not to say that moonlight plays no role in freshwater fishing. On clear nights, a bright moon can illuminate the water, making it easier for predatory fish to hunt. However, this effect is more closely tied to light availability than to the specific phase of the moon. While the moon's influence on freshwater fishing is debatable, its impact on night fishing is undeniable. A bright moon can make or break a night fishing trip, especially for anglers targeting species that rely on sight to hunt. When the moon is full, its light penetrates the water's surface, illuminating the depths and making it easier for predatory fish to spot their prey. This can lead to increased feeding activity, particularly for species like bass, walleye, and trout. However, a bright moon can also work against anglers. Fish may become wary of lures and baits that are easily visible in the moonlight. In these situations, it's often more effective to use darker-colored lures or to fish in areas with more cover, such as weed beds or overhanging trees. Section 5: Moonlight and the Marine World, a deeper dive. In the vast expanse of the ocean, the moon's influence is more pronounced. Tides play a crucial role in the lives of many marine species, influencing their movements, feeding patterns, and even their reproductive cycles. Some fish, like the California grunion, time their spawning runs with the tides, ensuring that their eggs are deposited on beaches where they will be submerged by the next high tide. Moonlight also plays a role in the behavior of certain marine predators. Sharks, for example, are known to be more active during periods of high lunar illumination. This is likely because the moonlight makes it easier for them to spot prey, such as seals and sea lions, that are silhouetted against the surface. However, it's important to remember that the ocean is a complex and dynamic environment. The moon is just one of many factors that influence fish behavior, and its effects can vary depending on the species, the location, and the time of year. Section 6: Beyond the lunar cycle. Factors that truly matter. While the moon's influence on fishing shouldn't be disregarded entirely, it's essential to recognize that other environmental factors play a far greater role. Water temperature, for example, is a critical factor for fish metabolism and behavior. Most fish species have a preferred temperature range, and deviations from this range can significantly impact their feeding activity. Barometric pressure, which measures the weight of the atmosphere, is another important factor. Fish are sensitive to changes in pressure, and a sudden drop in barometric pressure can trigger increased feeding activity. This is because low pressure often precedes storms, which can stir up food sources and make it easier for fish to hunt. Other crucial factors include water clarity, oxygen levels, current speed, and the availability of food and cover. By understanding how these factors interact, anglers can make more informed decisions about when and where to fish, regardless of the lunar phase. Section 7. The Angler's Almanac: Tools for Success. Rather than relying solely on the lunar calendar, anglers should consult a variety of resources to gain a comprehensive understanding of the conditions affecting fish behavior. Weather forecasts provide valuable information about temperature, precipitation, and wind speed, all of which can influence fishing success. Tide charts are essential for saltwater anglers, providing precise information about high and low tides as well as current speeds and directions. Solunar tables, which combine lunar phases with sunrise and sunset times, can also be helpful, particularly for anglers targeting species known to be influenced by tidal movements. However, the most valuable tool an angler can possess is experience. By spending time on the water, observing fish behavior, and experimenting with different techniques, anglers develop an intuitive understanding of the factors that contribute to a successful day of fishing. Section 8. Casting aside superstition, a scientific approach. While fishing folklore and lunar myths add a certain mystique to the sport, it's essential to approach them with a critical eye. The moon's influence on fishing is real but often overstated. By embracing a more scientific approach, considering a wider range of environmental factors, and relying on proven tools and techniques, anglers can increase their chances of success without relying on lunar superstition. Remember, the best fishing trips are often the result of careful planning, keen observation, and a willingness to adapt to changing conditions. So, the next time you're planning a fishing adventure, don't just check the moon phase. Consult the weather forecast, study the tide charts, and most importantly, trust your instincts and experience. Section 9. Conclusion: embracing knowledge on the water. The debate about the moon's influence on fishing is likely to continue for generations to come. But by separating fact from fiction, understanding the science behind fish behavior, and embracing a more holistic approach to angling, we can move beyond superstition and become more successful stewards of our aquatic resources. So the next time you're on the water, take a moment to appreciate the beauty and complexity of the natural world. Observe the subtle cues, adapt to the changing conditions, and let your passion for fishing guide you. After all, the greatest reward in angling lies not just in the catch, but in the pursuit itself, the constant quest to unravel the mysteries of the underwater world.